This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got some big stimulus check action in this video, so we'll go over articles like this. Senate Democrats could send seniors $1,000 cash vouchers to buy expanded Medicare benefits next year. There's a new petition for $1,400 stimulus checks for seniors. We'll go over this article right here, stimulus update. Some people will be getting an extra $600 from the federal government. Here's why. We'll talk about the clash between Bernie Sanders and Joe Manchin with the upcoming $3.5 trillion stimulus package, how Democrats have figured out a new way to pay for that package by taxing stock buybacks. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And I can't believe that we are 20 years after 9/11 happened. It's crazy. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who was affected by this incident. I was 15 years old and I only lived 40 minutes away from the Twin Towers when everything went down. I was living in Long Island, New York, and I remember very vividly what happened in my high school because there were a lot of kids who had parents in the building, around the building, in New York City in general. My neighbor was on the 80th floor when the plane hit the building, and he was able to go down 80 flights of stairs to get out just minutes before the building collapsed. So it was very close to me when it all happened. But let me know down in the comments below what happened. Where were you when it happened? What happened on your day? Do you remember what happened? Where you were when everything went down? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, let's get into the news here. Let's get into some stimulus check news. So, Senate Democrats could send seniors $1,000 cash vouchers to buy expanded Medicare benefits next year. So, what it's saying down here is senior Democrats haven't finalized an amount, though $600 to $1,000 is the range under consideration with figures still in flux. So they want to get this into the $3.5 trillion social spending plan so they can purchase new Medicare benefits next year while they're set up, according to a person familiar with the talks. So this is still kind of not solid yet. They're trying to get that into that $3.5 trillion stimulus package, although it's reconciliation, has so many different names, but just for communication purposes, I'm going to call it a stimulus package, even though technically it's not a stimulus package. $3.5 trillion is just easier to just say stimulus package. So they're trying to get those $1,000 cash vouchers in there, among many other proposals not in there yet though. Some other stimulus news here. So some people will be getting an extra $600 from the federal government. Here's why. What it's saying here is who's getting extra payment from the government. So Agricultural Secretary Tom Vilsack announced earlier this week that the government will be distributing a one-time $600 relief grant payment to U.S. meat packers and farm workers as part of a new $700 million aid program. So the goal of issuing this money to farm workers and meatpacking workforces, which are comprised of a large number of low-income immigrant workers, is to help this workforce recover from the hit they sustained due to the. So we're starting to see a lot of different targeted stimulus checks going out to different people. So we're seeing senior citizens, we're seeing teachers, first responders, rather than the general broad stimulus check, which may or may not be in the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. We're starting to see smaller targeted ones. For example, for senior citizens, as I just mentioned, stimulus checks for Social Security recipients, Senior Citizen League petitions for $1,400 payments. Over the last few days, I've been talking about the $1,400 stimulus check from which the Senior Citizens League is proposing for seniors and Social Security recipients who are seniors, or seniors who are Social Security recipients, because you could be a senior but not on Social Security. So hopefully that clarifies it. But yeah, there is a petition going on now. If you go to Seniors League, here, let me get to it right here. So seniorsleague.org, sign a petition, or if you type in $1,400 senior citizen stimulus check, you'll get to this page right here. It's at the seniorscitizensleague.org or seniorsleague.org. Sorry, I'm mentioning a bunch of websites here, but you can see here they have a bunch of different petitions One of them being petition to Congress provide Social Security recipients a $1,400 stimulus check. Another petition put an end to dramatic increases in prescription costs. Another petition, fair cost of living adjustment, the COLA for Social Security benefits. So a lot of different ones. If we click the $1,400 stimulus check petition, it'll take us to this page right here. Provide a $1,400 stimulus check to Social Security recipients. The Senior Citizens League will collect both online and print petitions and bring a collective voice to members of Congress, urging them to issue a $1,400 stimulus check to Social Security recipients. So basically, the Senior Citizens League is going to collect all these signatures, these petitions, and then lobby at Congress members and say, hey, look how many millions of people need this stimulus check, look how much of a demand there is, and that's the way that Congress will, hopefully, put in a $1,400 stimulus check for Social Security recipients. Let me know down in the comments below, is this a good idea, bad idea, should it be expanded? Looks like the Senior Citizens League is taking action here so they can lobby. There may be other organizations who could do the same thing because Senior Citizens League is setting a precedent here. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Speaking of petitions, so when it comes to the $2,000 per month to every American, currently it's at 2,875,000 signatures so far. So this petition, I've mentioned many times in the past, for a fourth stimulus check, there's not really an organization behind this petition. It'll show Congress members that there is a need, there is a demand, but there's no organization compared to the Senior Citizens League with this example. So this petition isn't going to be heavily lobbied to Congress compared to the Senior Citizens one, but I'll keep you updated on what's going on with all these stimulus checks. Next, let's talk about what's going on with the national debt. So U.S. could default on national debt as soon as mid-October. So we've been hearing a lot of different deadlines from the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, right here, saying that it needs to be done like September, or I think she said August 28th or something, August 27th, then September 1st, and now we're hearing mid-October is when the debt ceiling could the U.S. could default on this loan, this $26 trillion loan, which I don't even know what that means. No one has said what it means when the U.S. defaults. I don't know. I don't know what the next step is. It sounds scary, but we haven't heard what the consequences of this is. And until we hear the consequences, I don't think any action is going to be taken. The U.S., most richest, most powerful country in the world, who's going to try to collect money from the U.S. if the U.S. defaults on loans? I don't know. I don't know what the next step is. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, let's talk about this $3.5 trillion stimulus package, where a lot of the stimulus check proposals that I've mentioned and other proposals such as increase in Social Security, student loan forgiveness, first-time homebuyer credit, where a lot of those proposals would live. What's going to happen with that? So it really comes down to Joe Manchin and Bernie Sanders set for clash over Biden's spending package. So what it's saying here is one person saying that they really do mirror each other in terms of representing different ends of the Democratic coalition. They're kind of avatars like the two wings of the Democratic Party. Asked about the relationship between the two, a former Manchin aide added, "There is no relationship. They do not talk." Though physical distance between Manchin and Sanders is quite small, they sit one desk away from each other on the Senate floor. They are near polar opposites when it comes to politics and personality. So really, it comes down to Bernie Sanders and Joe Manchin, how much this stimulus package is going to be, what's going to be included in it. Joe Manchin says he wants $1.5 trillion. Bernie Sanders says $3.5 trillion at a minimum. So we'll see what happens with this standoff. It looks like one way to pay for it, which could sway Joe Manchin for having a higher bill, because one of his biggest concerns is how it's going to be paid for. He doesn't want to add any more to the debt or have any taxes. There is a loophole that rich people use that the Democrats could tax and pay for that bill. So Democrats propose a 2% tax on stock buybacks to offset their $3.5 trillion budget plan. So a stock buyback is basically a rich man's loophole, or a rich corporation's loophole to raising more money. So the way a stock buyback works is, let's just say like a company like United Airlines, let's say, just using numbers just to make things simple, let's just say they make $1 billion in profit. What they could do with that $1 billion is then buy their stock. So let's just say their stock price is $20 a share for United, although it's not true, just to keep numbers simple, $20 a share. They have $1 billion. They put $1 billion back to buy back their stock. So they're buying their own stock. Then it artificially raises the price from $20 to $25 a share. And everyone, a lot of shareholders are like, oh great, look at all this money we're making. You know, the price went from $20 to $25. So that's called a stock buyback, and they want to tax that 2% on those stock buybacks. Not just United Airlines, but any multi-billion-dollar corporations or any publicly traded corporations that could take advantage of this loophole, turn billions of dollars into more billions of dollars, basically. Here's a video explaining more about that.
Well, Senate Democrats are introducing a new bill today that would impose a special tax on companies that buy back their stock. Now, this proposal comes from Senators Sherrod Brown and Ron Wyden, the chairman of the Banking and Finance Committees, and it's one of the ways that Democrats are hoping to pay for President Biden's $3.5 trillion spending package. Now, the Stock Buyback Accountability Act would level a 2% excise tax on the amount spent by a publicly traded company on buying back its own stock. The senators say the goal is to prevent abuse and reduce tax avoidance. The 2% tax would not apply if the buyback is used to fund an employee pension plan or stock ownership plan. Now, in a statement, Brown said, quote, instead of spending billions buying back stocks and handing out CEO bonuses, it's past time Wall Street paid its fair share and reinvested more of that capital into the workers and communities who make those profits possible. Now, this idea was not part of President Biden's original framework for the spending package, but the Senate Finance Committee met yesterday to discuss a suite of options like this one to raise revenue. Now, getting rid of stepped-up basis also remains a flashpoint, and it's possible the Democrats' self-imposed deadline for reaching an agreement on September 15th could slip. But guys, a spokeswoman for the Senate Finance Committee said that on the broad goal of leveling the playing field, Democrats are all on the same page. Back over to you.
Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.